And there's very few regions that are underdeveloped now when you talk about gaming and esports. You have the Middle East, you have Sub-Saharan Africa, and you have Latin America that are starting to really take their time in the limelight. And I have to admit, it's fun to be a part of.
Saudi Arabia concluded the first Esports World Cup last week, which was watched by 500 million people globally. However, Prince Faisal bin Bandar Al Saud, chairman of the Saudi Esports Federation, isn't pinning his hopes on the profitability of mega events like this to contribute to the overall success of the sector.
It is a lot of money that goes into it, let's be honest. And I think we may one day get to a point where it is sustainable. Will it ever be a serious profit generator? I don't think so. But that's not the aim here. With the aim, over 60% of our vendors are Saudi vendors. So that's not money that's being spent that is just disappearing into the ether. That is money that's being spent in Saudi, that is going back into taxes, going back into our GDP, an investment in our youth, in our future, in our companies that are going to start doing this, not just here, but are going to start going international, going to start doing work in other places. You're starting to see the Saudi brands become global brands through the investments we've made in our local tournaments and investments we've made in our young men and women. And that, I think, is the future of what we're doing and the real profit of what we're doing.
Gaming revenues in the Middle East and Africa were approximately $7.2 billion in 2023, with Saudi Arabia emerging as a significant player in this growth. With an estimated GDP contribution of $13 billion, 39,000 jobs and 250 companies to be based in Saudi by 2030, the kingdom is planning on becoming a global hub for esports and gaming.
Now for me, all these numbers sound great, and I have to memorize the specific numbers, but the reason I remember the numbers is because the aim behind them is very simple for me. So when we talk about a global hub, everyone thinks, what is that? There's different interpretations of that. And for me, it's very simple. When you think about gaming and esports, there are certain places that come to the top of your head. South Korea, Japan, China, North America. We want Saudi to be a natural part of that conversation. That is 67% of the population consider themselves gamers. It's 21 million out of the 30 million people in Saudi consider themselves to be gamers. They have a passion for this as an industry. And what we're here to do is give them the tools and a career path within this industry so that they can create a global hub. As we rise as Saudi, we can bring the whole region with us and help inspire them and help bring companies in and start to really shift their focus to this region, which has been underdeveloped.
However, there are challenges that the kingdom and the sector needs to overcome in order to flourish.
There is so much growth and there is so much work left to do. In the tournament structure, the professionalization of players and management. I think management is something that's very much lacking in this as an industry. It's very big in other sports, but that helping the players have control over their whole lifespan rather than just going day by day. The monetization, helping players realize that they are a brand and they can monetize their brand. They're not just they're a part of something bigger, but they're also a brand in of themselves. But also the education in the lifestyle. They are athletes. There was a study done at the Sports Medicine University in Cologne that said their heart rates during tournaments reach 180, which is equivalent to marathon runners. Stress levels reach equivalent to F1 drivers. These young men and women have to realize they are athletes. They have to treat themselves like athletes, physically, mentally, sleep, food. So there's a lot of work to be done, but this is still a young industry.